It has been nearly 42 years since two 13-year-old girls, Charlotte Kinsey and Cinda Pallett, went missing from the Oklahoma State Fair.
And in the years following their disappearance, KOCO spoke to friends and family. We've covered a court case that many thought would provide closure, but instead ended with no trial.
And now, as decades have passed, police say the case remains cold. Only on 5, KOCO's Elise Jones and digital editor Brooke Withrow sat down with the now retired assistant district attorney who worked to prosecute the case. What he wants you to know about the missing fair girls.
He filed the charges and then at that point came to me and said, now prove it.
September 26, 1981, the last time Charlotte Kinsey and Cinda Pallett would be seen by their friends and family.
Literally, there were hundreds and thousands of people that needed to be interviewed.
The assistant district attorney at the time, Ray Elliott, says he and multiple detectives and Oklahoma City police employees were consumed by the case that went global. 2 teenage girls missing from the Oklahoma State Fair. While today many remember the missing girls, what you may not know is that for months a team of experts tracked down witnesses in 40 states and went through thousands of reports with one goal: to convict this man, Royal Russell Long, of kidnapping and murdering the girls. Long's daughter confessed to investigators. She herself was one of dozens of victims, and she witnessed the horrific acts of her father.
That there were multiple times where he would use the same scenario of stuffed animals to lure young girls in, and we believe ultimately molest them, rape them, and kill them.
Elliott says the evidence was there. They knew Long was the man responsible for the disappearance of Kinsey and Pallett. He says 2 witnesses, a pair of teenage boys who left the fair with Kinsey and Pallett, agreed.
They described the car. We learned that it was a rental car, so then we were able to determine that a car fitting that description was rented by Royal Russell Long.
The boys also helped in creating this sketch of the suspect, which was posted around the country. Years later, one of Long's ex-wives saw the sketch in Wyoming and called police. The sketch and the photo of Long nearly identical. Long was then brought to Oklahoma from a Wyoming prison where he'd face his fate in the case of the missing fair girls. He was charged with kidnapping and murdering the teens. Before the trial, Elliott says he visited the homes of both Kinsey and Pallett.
Both of the parents took me into the girls' rooms. The Pallett family had left the room exactly the way it was the day she left to go to the state fair. She was working on some little crocheted Christmas decorations prior to her going to the fair. Mrs. Pallett gave me one of those Christmas decorations and said, "This will be your inspiration for the trial." I still have that decoration today.
Elliott took the decoration made by Cinda Pallett and left the family his word.
I was not able to fulfill that promise, and I live with that today.
The case was never heard by a jury, but was dismissed by a judge who said the evidence wasn't strong enough.
What I remember the most, and probably the only thing I remember from his ruling, was that he said the prosecution picked him green, meaning that we had filed the case before we had enough evidence. My reaction was then and is today, that was the lowest point in my career, because we proved it and had the evidence to prove it.
Elliott says in his mind the case isn't cold. While they didn't convict Long of the crime, Elliott says Long confessed in the courtroom.
He leaned over to the victim's family, the mothers and fathers who were sitting on the front row, as they had been every day from day one. He leaned over in handcuffs, whispered to the family, "Only I know where those bodies are, and I'm not talking."
Now, decades later, questions remain.
You have ever gotten that closure?
No.
Do you think you ever will?
No. Only if we at some point find the girls' bodies.
Long died in prison in 1993, and while Elliott says in his heart he knows who committed the crime, there's one more thing he wants to do: find the bodies of Kinsey and Pallett. He says based on evidence of where Long drove the rental car.
So I truly believe, in my heart of hearts, those girls' bodies are within 55 miles or less of Oklahoma County Courthouse, based on the evidence that we have and what we were able to prove.
Now he says his goal before leaving this earth to return Cinda Pallett and Charlotte Kinsey home. In Oklahoma City, Elise Jones, KOCO 5 News.